Okay. I think this is working now. Sorry about that. Good morning, my name is Penbu, I'm the programming, puzzle gaming, and music making vtuber on Linux, and we actually have a mic plugged in this time. We are programming for once. It's been a while. You know, it can't be the programming vtuber without actually programming. It's been a while. And it's especially been a while since last time we touched Awafudge. Penbu et Awafudge. This is an esoteric programming language inspired by Phase Connect talent Jelly Hoshiumi, where we have all of this stuff here. Where we left off last time, I think we were working on the what do you call it? The command line interface, and it does seem to work. I think. Look at the git log. It does seem like it does work, I think. And we might have the test for it, it might not. But I do think it does work. We can test it out. I think we have some tests around. Formatters. Interpreters. Do we not have anything in here? I swear we have tests somewhere. Parser? Maybe we don't. I should probably have some of those, but we're not gonna deal with those today. I figured what we might do is what do you call it? Words. I am not prepared for stream today. What we might do is work on the web UI for this instead, because there's two parts of this. So one is the actual logic portion, but then we also should have a web page that where the user can input some code and then have it execute. We don't have the interpreter done. I think we started doing that and then kind of stopped. But I think it might be easier if we have the web UI in, so that we can more easily see what we need from the interpreter. Okay. And then for anyone in the Underground Pen Club, I do have the OpenVC open. So if you want to hop in, you're welcome to do so. In the meantime, I think what we'll do, we're probably going to want to move everything into a subfolder here. So that we make a node workspace. So one, we have the compiler in one folder, and then the web UI in another folder. So npm workspace. I've used yarn workspaces before. Never actually used npm workspaces, so I don't know how to set this up. We'll find out together. I'm on version 10. Alright, close enough. Define workspace with name workspace is this. Given the above. I mean, I guess I can make a package. Yeah, I mean, make your packages. Move everything into there. We'll have everything that's not node modules anyway. Because node modules I think we want to keep in here. Move star to package. No, we need to make another directory here. We need to make packages slash awfc, because that's what this is. And then we move everything into there. To packages awfc. And it's going to say you can't do this because you can't move packages into itself. Or apparently the dist directory, for that matter. Okay, everything but dist. Or node modules. That should be fine. or packages, for that matter. This here is an extended bash extended glob. Says everything that is not disk node modules or packages, but everything else that matches. But I think, okay, so we still have a package JSON here. That's fine. I don't know if that means we need a package lock up top. Yeah, it's at the top. So we can move packages, package lock.json. Actually, no. We can commit what we have here. Git checkouts be workspace. You want to be able to come back to main. We get status. We rename a bunch of these things here. Git commits. Move Awafudge into your subfolder. This is in preparation for turning the repo into an npm workspace. Sure. It's important to be descriptive in your commit messages, because if you ever have to go back and look through your commits, especially several months later, you're gonna thank yourself that you know what you were, that you told yourself what you did here. Okay, so that leaves disk node modules and packages. Actually, disk we can move over to. This is under packages Awafudge, and that's not tracked under Git, so that's fine. So then we can create a workspace. Awafudge workspaces packages / Awafudge for now. And then we have npm install. We have this. Now I have package lock here. Git, not git, less package lock dot. I have bad package lock JSON. Let's see what we have here. Node modules, all that stuff. Yeah, this seems fairly normal. I do want to diff the this package lock with the other one. See what's changed. Packages / package lock.json. Seems like a considerable amount. Add a bit of color here. I don't have that? Okay. Normally I alias diffc and grepc as having this flag here for convenience. And then I have less interpreting color information by default. Okay. So I think that actually means we can probably remove git rm packages Awafudge package lock.json, because it's all up at the top there. Also, I realized I never explained what workspaces are. So basically, workspaces allow you to have multiple packages under the same repo. And you'd often want to do that because the packages are related somehow. So for example, in this case, we have a backend and we have a front end, or rather a library and the front end that uses it, and they're fairly tightly related. I wouldn't say tightly coupled, but the front end definitely makes use of the library, and one change, or it changes in one, will probably affect or will encourage changes in the other, even though they might not necessarily be how should I say it? Coupled. They're not so coupled that it requires changes, but with the way that we're developing it, changes in one will likely result in changes in the other, because we're adding a feature or something, right? So if we want to create a feature on the front end, but that requires a change in the library, then it makes sense to have that as say one feature developed together, and we don't need to do this back and forth of trying to publish a package and then trying to use it and then finding out that it doesn't work. So this just makes things a little bit nicer to work with. So add LFC package to npm workspace, to new npm workspace. Now you can say, why do we not use a monorepo tool like Lerna, or what's the other one that we used to use at work? I don't remember. I don't think it's strictly necessary in this case, because it is fairly small, and it's not like this is going out to production in a sense that people are going to be using it for anything critical. So I don't really care too much. Okay, so I don't have any automation here, which is probably a good thing. Or, I mean, it's a good thing in the sense that I don't have to change anything. Okay. So I'm probably going to end up fumbling around until I figure out what it is that we need to do here. We can go with packages. I can make a directory called Awafudge, or Awafudge. I don't know what I want to call that. Because it doesn't necessarily have to be a web UI. You could turn it into something else, but this is specifically a web UI, so maybe in the future we have something else, like a desktop application or something. But also, this is a Node application, so why would it be anything else? Probably shouldn't think about it too much. Awafudge is fine. This is the intended. If I don't expect to develop any more UIs after this for this program, because this is largely a proof of concept. So I don't know. It's the project is not that serious. So Awafudge is probably fine. Then I will want, I think, I'm gonna copy over the git ignore. Oh, the git ignore is up there actually. I hope this doesn't cause any issues. Yeah, I just copy the git ignore from this generator here. Makes it very easy. Even though I don't like things like VS Code test or any anything specific to editors, I don't think they should be in the repo git ignore. That should be in your global git ignore for the machine. But also, it's easy to just wholesale put in whatever this puts in, so it's fine. So for this UI, I think I'm going to use SvelteKit. It might be a little bit overkill, but also with the stuff that I have in mind, it might be nice to have the actual components. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a SvelteKit 5 project, because we actually have that now. And I don't remember how to create this. Because they do have a UI for this now. npx sv creates. Okay. Can we create dot? Can I do help and hopefully get help? Where the project will be created, so that it is just a path then. Which means I should be able to do sv create here. Where would you like to have your project created? Yes, here. Bare bones scaffolding was fine. With TypeScript. Yes, lints. Do I care about vtest? Probably want the adapter. Well, it's static adapter because this is going to be hosted on GitHub pages probably. Do I care? Not Markdown, but this is good to have. I've been wondering, so for the website, which I haven't really started working on again, that's been stalled for how long now? I was wondering whether I should go with just stick with Markdown or change them over to HTML. I've been leaning towards HTML, but knowing that Markdown is an option, I don't know. It would be an easy migration. I suppose I could probably piecewise update them, but don't need Playwright. It's not going to be that serious. I don't like Tailwinds. Don't need these. Paraglide. I'm not looking to localize anything, which hopefully is not going to be an issue. Storybook. We're not really creating components, so I don't need that. I don't know. DevTools JSON is probably. Okay, let me have a look at what this is. I have a feeling this might be useful, but also, do I really need it? Feed plugin for generating Chrome DevTools JSON on the fly on the dev server. But also, I'm using Firefox, so does it matter? I think I will leave that out. Do I even want vtest? Am I actually going to test anything? I can always add vtest later. SvelteKit minimal is fine because I don't need showcase app. TypeScript. Okay, I'm gonna skip vtest. I kind of regretted it a little bit the first time we went through this, because we did try building a game. What was it? It was K Jumping Cube, and I didn't have vtest. But it would have been useful to have tests for it. But I think for this one, it probably doesn't matter too much. Probably. That might come back to bite me. But yeah, ESLint is fine. SvelteKit adapter is fine. I think we can probably leave that as is. Static, because this will be static. There's only going to be a single page anyway. We're going to use npm. This is going to take a bit. Whoa, unsupported engine. Let me guess. That's probably why. Alright. NVM init. Init NVM. I'm going to use NVM so we can bump up our version here. Because Node.js is now long-term support at 24, I think. I should probably upgrade anyway. Ah, 22. I think I'll stick with 22 in that case. Actually, hold on. EOL Node.js. Let's look at the EOL chart. This one. There's 24. 24 is, I think, going to be the next LTS. 22 is the current LTS. Sorry, 22 is the current LTS that's under active maintenance, and 24 is the current version of Node.js, period. I guess it's not LTS yet. Okay, let's go get 22. NVM install 22. NVM use 22. Okay, so now we have 22, and now we can do. I think it installed everything here, so I just need to do npm install. I think. Okay, very low severity vulnerabilities. Well, we haven't updated this stuff in a while, so come on, guys. It's fine. So package lock. Should it be here? Should I not have removed the thing up top? No, I don't need this. I hope I don't need this. Because we should have everything that we need and the top level git ignore. Stop. Alright, so if we compare ls of 2. Maybe we do need some of these things. I'm gonna get rid of this. Yeah, so I'm gonna say this is probably fine. Node modules you don't technically need, because we already have it up here. Actually, it might still be good to have anyway. You know what, whatever. That's fine. git commit generate svelte kit. Now we gotta start prefixing our stuff. And we can add this to our package.json. Packages / Awafudge. Go to npm install. This will take a bit. Now it should change package log package.json. Packages, Awafudge, package lock.json. We don't need that anymore. Add Awafudge to workspace. Okay, so now we have under packages both the compiler and the UI. And now we can start building out the UI. So under here, packages, Awafudge, we can start the server. npm run build, npm run dev. I'm gonna go ahead and go here. And then this is very bare bones, there's nothing in it. Apple, welcome in. We're just fumbling around a little bit, trying to figure out what we're doing. So far, what we've done is changed the repo from a single project repo to a mono repo using npm workspaces. Because we're going to build out, we've already built out the compiler, and now we're building out the UI for this tool. At least that's the plan. But we have two things left on this, I think. We have the interpreter, and then we have the UI. So I figured the interpreter we kind of left hanging, and then the UI we still have to build. Don't know nothing about anything about that. Fair enough. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. But yeah, I suppose I don't know how this comes across to people who aren't programmers or technical. So hopefully you find this interesting. I don't know. Personally, whenever I see one of the reasons why I don't like to do programming projects on stream is because I do personally find them a little bit less interesting to watch. Especially if you come into the middle of a project and you have no context on anything. So usually I'm there just for the streamer and not for the actual content. Is that Linux? Yes, it is. I wonder if I neo-fetch. I think I have neo-fetch here. It's Arch, of course. But yeah, there it is. I am the programming, puzzle gaming, and music making VTuber on Linux, so I gotta live up to that. Which I find I realize it's a little bit ironic that my overlay has Windows style windows, but we can gloss over that. Tetris player 2, yes. We will be playing Tetris tomorrow. Actually, let me bring that up. Tetris. Oh, It's a little bit. So let me resize that because that's not the way it should be. 1280 by 720. There we go. That's better. We're gonna be playing Tetris Sweeper tomorrow, which is a game where you play both Tetris and Minesweeper at the same time. We played this a few times before, and I said last year that I would play this in August. Meaning, I meant to play it in August last year, and then I never did. So we're playing it August this year instead. But yeah, that'll be tomorrow. Yeah, it is definitely how should I say it? It does use up a lot of brain power. Let me give you the link here. It is also available on Steam if you prefer having it there. But that's where I'll be playing it at. Yeah, do give it a shot. Hello, welcome in. Well, let me just make sure that. Can you say something again? Because I accidentally clicked on the Discord volume settings, and it's probably a little bit too low. It's not even hooked up. Hold up, they can't even hear you. Of course, the scuff comes out in the programming screen. It's programming stream rather. That's okay. What do we have here? I need Discord. I really wish you could. I wish you could stack patch base, but you can't. All right, say something again, please.
Hello, hello.
All right, looks like they can hear you. Hello, why don't you introduce yourself to chat here?
Good morning, everybody. My name is the Dr. House, and I love talking about all kinds of things. Physics, math, media analysis, and whatever this conversation just so happens to be. Banter and absurd tangents are my specialty, so I'd like to think. And if you don't think it's important where you are, I'm sorry to tell that whether or not it's evening, afternoon, or early in the day, it will always and forever be a good morning.
Yes. And I was just talking about how programming streams are kind of boring, and you're here for the streamers, so hopefully you'll make this a little bit more interesting to listen to.
I can't say long, but I did want to say hi.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you dropping it.
It's always a good time. How's trying to open the Discord stream? Well, I can probably just open the regular stream now that I think about it.
With a little bit of a delay. I mean,
yeah,
not that I'm doing much anyway.
I mean, it's programming. It's not like I need to see everything immediately.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna explode. Well, you never know.
We could make something explode.
Ooh.
I don't think I will, but we could.
I could throw down a HCF opcode.
There's a question in chat here. Wait, the music is the one that you made like months ago. No, so this is what's the thing called? It's by T Penguin LTG. It's not one of mine. I haven't used any of my music on stream as background music yet. I don't know if I will actually. How often do you cycle your background music?
Me?
Yeah, if you even have background music.
During gaming segments, I almost just go with the sounds in game, no background music. During chatting segments, I just have a YouTube playlist that I just let randomly play.
Yeah, no, that's what a lot of people do. Hello.
Doing quite good.
Let me turn you up here.
I just popped in to say hi, pretty much. Hello, Penbu. Hello, Hasso.
Well, welcome
Good morning,
in.
guys.
Cool. Subscribe to Penbu.
Subscribe to Geyser.
Follow him on Twitch. No, I don't have a channel that doesn't work for me. I'm sorry.
What? What?
Yeah, I don't have a YouTube channel yet. I mean, I do, but it's a little bit tricky. There's not videos in there, so yeah. I just popped in to say hi. Pretty much. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye. Have a beautiful
Good night.
time.
Bye.
How lovely.
Yeah, I realize that shoutouts are a thing, so I'll just give you one later.
Oh well.
Fief, welcome in. Well, yeah, what were we talking about? So we were talking about BGMs, right? Yeah, so a lot of streamers do just have songs as their, or like a playlist for their BGM. I'm not like that. I just prefer the one. Or I mean, I technically have another one. I wonder if I have it loaded actually. Well, definitely not, Geyser. Welcome in. Yeah, I wonder actually if I do have it here. Because I know I had one as a backup. No, I don't have it loaded here. I have another one. I guess I haven't prepped it. I've never used it though. Is that
The
H?
game you tend to use is very nice. So.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I have a feeling I won't end up. I tend to not cycle through a lot of things. I don't change things very often, so I expect to use my set of BGMs for quite a while. Like Ina. Ina hasn't changed her opening or ending music in like I think since she's debuted. Apart from certain occasions like Christmas, where she'll use a Christmas or holiday version of her BGM. Fief, is that HTML? Close. This is Svelte. Well, I don't think we've come across anything that's Svelte specific yet, but it is Svelte here. We will be writing that soon, once I figure out what it is that we need to do. Sure, welcome in. If it works, it works. Yeah.
Does it work?
Oh, who knows? I mean, we can definitely. I mean, I changed this to Awafudge, right? And we have Awafudge here, so that is certainly something. Okay, and we do have that. Now, what do I want to do with this? Let me Excalidraw, if I can spell Excalidraw. I don't remember the domain for this one. It's .com, okay. Delete that. I don't remember what that was. So basically we have a web page here. And then I was thinking it would be something like Awafudge. Make that a little bit bigger. XL, sure. And so we have probably an input box here, an output box here, and then actually I'm gonna move this over, move this down a bit, and then we have a table over here, because the programming language is based on BrainF, and if you know anything about that language, it sort of emulates a Turing tape in that you have cells for memory, and then you can move between those cells. So this would be like the this would represent the tape basically. So we would show what the state of the memory is at this time. And then we'd have the input for where you put in your code, and then the output if you translate it to the other language, because we are interoperable or translatable with the other language. Now, our 5.0, I think I should be able to make it from here. I hope I didn't show anything in that history that I didn't want to. It should be okay.
I wasn't looking.
Yeah. No, but now it's recorded on the VOD, right?
Oh, wait, yeah.
But yeah, so this is what we're looking at, or taking some inspiration from. This is Temp Tempai's Awa 5.0. Okay, so the story behind this one was September, October of 2023. I think this project has been around for quite a while. When did we say this? No, 2024. So September, October 2024. We were thinking about languages for Jelly Hoshiumi here. So that's her. She is a VTuber from Face Connect. I can actually give a youtube.com Jelly Hoshiumi. Yeah, so this is her. I haven't caught a stream in a while, but I think she has the most watch hours, or I watch her the most in Face Connect. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. But anyway, in September, October 2024, we were talking about some potential ideas for esoteric programming languages that are inspired by her. And I came up with Awafudge, which is all outlined here. I'll send that over in chat as well. As a derivative of brain fudge. And so I wrote this up and then wasn't able to do anything with it at the time because was this actually 2024? It feels like it should have been 2023. Well, in any case, I had stuff that I had to do, and so I couldn't get around to actually making it. And then Tempai here has another idea for an interpreter, or for an esolang, and so he goes ahead and makes it, and actually makes something out of it that's functional. And then it was featured on Jelly's stream and all that. So this is effectively the de facto language of Jelly Hoshiumi. Even though I had an idea first. So first to market and all that. I swear this is 2023. Let me check the commit history here. No, this is 2023. I gotta fix that. README 23.
I should probably get going by now. I got places to be in 25 minutes.
All right, well, good luck with that. Thanks for dropping by.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was good to be here. Have a good stream, Penbu. Best of luck.
All right, see ya.
Ciao.
And that was Hessel. Find his. It's also on YouTube. Let me go give that c.hessel. Good to know the usernames of your friends. Fixed date reference in README. Awafudge was I was gonna say concepted, but that's not the right word. First proposed in 2023, not 2024. Yeah, that'll do. So we can probably actually merge this in now, because we do have the workspace set up, and now it's just a matter of developing in the workspace. Set up npm workspace. This splits out LFC, the compiler library, from the UI, from Awaf UI, the UI, as if that needs to be said. And turns the repo into a mono repo. Okay. Where is this? So yeah. I was thinking of something like this, but also I have an image. Do I still have it in this scene? It's entirely possible that I don't have it in this scene, which is too bad. Okay, I don't have it in the scene. I'm just gonna have to go look for it. One moment. I did commission some art for this. Pictures. This one. So also by Cinnabonbon, the artist for Tempai's image here. This one. Figured probably best to keep the same artist to keep the same theme. So I have one of her eating fudge. And I have the ability to switch out the expressions here and toggle the different things. So we have about 2 to 3, that's about 8 images, I think, that we can make out of these. Let me give, I'll find Cinnabonbon here. Bon Senna, I think is what her thing is on Twitter. I'll just confirm. Bonbon_Senna. Okay. She's used to stream, but I think he's currently on hiatus. I think we're still waiting for her return. She said spring 2025, but that's gone now. We're now near the end of summer 2025. But you know, streamers will go back when they come back, so I'm not too concerned here. What is her Twitch? I forgot. Then _bonbon. Now let me just check here. Streamed 9 months ago. But in any case, we're not concerned about that at the moment, so we are trying to deal with this. So given this as our general design, I mean, I'm not particularly... Something about this doesn't quite fit. So I was gonna have Jelly sitting on top of here too. But we also do have all this empty space here. I don't know what to do with that. Excalibur, by the way, if you want to try this out for yourself, it is fairly useful, and it's free and open source. So I do like using it when I need to. I'll be quite honest, I don't know how far we're gonna get here. That's also another reason why I don't like doing projects on stream, because I have to think about things. And thinking about things, it's not really entertainment material. It's not this... I am out of practice enough with programming that it doesn't come quite as easily to me on the spot as music. Is it too late to ask what we're making? No, that is entirely a valid question. So, here we have Awafudge. It is an esoteric programming language that I had designed. We had already built out the transpiler for it. So the parser, the formatter. We don't have an interpreter for it yet, but we also want a UI for it so that you can actually go onto your browser, type in some code, and then have it run. Similar to what Awa 5.0 has. My favorite engineering task is thinking super hard, yeah. I don't know. So for those of you who don't know, I quit my job back in February, in part because I got a little bit fed up with programming, and the software development process and all that. It was, how was it? I actually hadn't been programming for several years now, because when I moved from a senior to a lead, that got me doing things that allowed me to do things other than programming, like planning and like requirements and stuff, and like talking with the designers and the product owners and mediating between the developers. And I've come to realize that I think I like programming, but I don't like software engineering. And this part is more on the software engineering side, where you end up having to type on the keyboard and go through testing and the rest of the cycle. Whereas I prefer solving problems rather than doing the grunt work. The less fun tasks, yeah. Chat, welcome in. What do you do for a living now? It's quite a ask. I am a full-time VTuber at the moment, or at least that's what I tell myself. But yeah, the plan was quit and then try this out for a year. And then if this doesn't take off, which it probably won't, then figure out what to come back to next year. But yeah, so far, I mean, there have been distractions along the way. For example, there's this one event that finished in August that is very stressful to plan for, and I ended up putting a lot of time and effort into that, and it took away from VTubing. And you may have noticed that in my schedule, because I think it was in July or June I didn't end up streaming a lot. But now that's over, I can put a bit more time into this, although I will be off next week because I'll be out in the middle of nowhere. Written for you, thanks. Thankfully, I have enough in my savings that I can easily last a year. Probably maybe another year after that, which will probably end up being like cushion for finding a job. But yeah, so far it's been good. Although I do wish I had a little bit more time to put into this. Last Brush, welcome in. But yeah, the short of that is I am several years out of practice in programming, like doing hands-on keyboard programming. So coupled with the fact that I've worked in a professional environment for a long time and have the quote-unquote proper way ingrained in me for having like for the software development process, where you have to make sure that things are tested and stuff, it kind of wears you down. What will I be doing in the middle of nowhere? To be honest, I don't know. Because every year my family and another family that we're friends with tend to go on this vacation for about a week, just for a change of scenery. Like, we're going to be in an Airbnb with internet. But the nice thing is that because it's out in the middle of nowhere, we have darker skies and all that. So you can at least see the stars, which is nice. As somebody who likes seeing stars and is into astronomy and that kind of stuff, it is appreciated. Dora, I suck in coding too. I mean, everyone starts somewhere, right? I used to really like programming, actually. I mean, I still like programming. I don't think I like coding as much. But back in, I started programming back in 2009-ish. So it's been about 15 years-ish. You know, after a while, you kind of want to just move on and do something else. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to go back to work to next year, because I was talking with a friend just yesterday, and she's also in software, and she was recounting to me. She's an intermediate software developer, and she was recounting to me the troubles that they had in the process. To be honest, the average software development company, right, and their issues there, and I don't know. It reminded me why I left. The darker the ground, the prettier the night sky. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's anything like a dark sky reserve, but it's definitely darker than what we have in the city. How's the pay? I don't know how much she's getting paid. I know I could have gotten paid more if I hopped around. I had stayed at my company for about 7 years, because I'm not one to move around much. In part also because I don't want to do interviews. But yeah, what they say in tech is that the most effective way of getting a pay raise is to hop around to other companies. I think I was still paid more than average, but I could have gotten higher if I moved. How much will I end up getting paid after coming back to the workforce? I don't know, because I do have this 1 year where I haven't done anything super relevant. But also, I think it depends on what I come back to, right? Because if I come back to something a little bit more organizational, or managerial or something. I mean, I don't want to manage people, so I don't think I want to be a manager. But if I do something like that, then I can lean on the streaming experience and organizing collabs and stuff as work experience, I think. And it's not like the experience I had professionally under my old company is gone either. So I have some marketability, although I feel like maybe it's not as much as somebody who's still working in the field would have. I don't know. I would hope that I would get something a little bit higher than what I had before. Might be possible. What are we looking at here? Right, so we have this. We have an input box. We have an output box here. Text area of some sort. We'll probably turn these into components, but at least we'll start with this. It's like that ever. I think when I quit my last job, and you guys were getting hired and making more than I was after 3 years. Yeah. And I mean, that's it is in the company's interest, I think, to keep the employees that they have to an extent, because one, it means you don't have to retrain people, but also it means that you generally end up paying them lower than what a new hire would, than what you would pay a new hire. So that's why I think if you're employed at a place and you've been employed for a while, you should try to be a little bit assertive about getting pay raises. Because you do have the leverage, at least in tech, where you can say, if I hop, I'm going to get paid more. And so it's going to be cheaper for the company in the long run to keep me than to try to than to lose me and hire someone else. So you do have that as leverage for a pay raise. Man, I'm so out of practice. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. And we have a table here. Maybe this ends up being Discord streams instead. So we have now a table that you can't see, and then you have the input and the output. We have some sort of script here. Script lang equals TypeScript, I think is how you do it in Svelte. And this typically goes up top. I think any work on the website proper, so on Penbu GitHub, github.io. any work on the website, penbu.ca, because there's stuff here that definitely needs to be worked on. Because we've been trying to convert this to Svelte because it's currently written in Zola, and Zola I haven't really been using as Zola. I've been kind of just having it as the framework and then doing my own thing underneath. So I figured Svelte kit would be better because it would give me more control. So that migration is underway. It's been about a year in the making, mostly because I haven't really worked on it. But yeah, I think any more work on this is probably going to end up being in Discord, because as you can see here, I don't really have a lot of progress here. Man. But I think I should probably keep up with my programming skills, because if I do end up coming back to a tech job, I should at least be competent enough to still do this. The problem is, I think if I have clear requirements that are handed to me, it's very easy for me to, and an existing code base, it's very easy for me to pick something up. But if I have to write something from scratch, oh, I have a tough time doing that. That's why I like fixing bugs, because fixing bugs, there's a very clear output, a very clear way of knowing when you're done, and the code base exists already. And so I tend to prefer legacy code bases for that reason, because they're usually the reason why you're touching a legacy code base is to fix bugs, and bugs are relatively easy to fix compared to doing features, at least in my view. Not everyone's going to share that, obviously, but I do prefer fixing bugs over creating features. What am I doing here? Okay, so we have, I think we need something in the package JSON. Package JSON, because we need to come back. LFC. Package JSON. Name Awafudge. Yeah, so we need that. Dependencies. Awafudge. The 0.1. No, this can't be right. I'm gonna 0.x for now. I can't remember. What is it? I think it maybe it is the hat. npm package.json version. Because the hat gives you, I think, for 0x versions, it gives you the patch. It allows you to take in patch versions, but not minor versions. Compatible with CSMVer. Parent ranges. Allows changes do not modify the leftmost non-zero elements. Yeah, so for 0x versions, it would keep the minor versions static, which is not what we want. And then tilde ranges allows patch level changes to the minor version specified. Allows minor level versions if not. Okay, so I think I do want 0x in this case, for now. Private true, module correct, this is correct. npm install. Actually, I think should be npm installing up here. And so it should be that node modules Awafudge. Yes. And then we do have a link to Awafudge, the package there, which is what we want. And so now we can see Awafudge. Okay. Package log JSON packages, Awafudge package JSON. Add Awafudge, add Awafudge package as dependency, because we do need that. Okay, so now we can use the Awafudge library. Now, assuming that we actually have exported stuff already, which I'm not actually certain that we did. Well, we must have, because we do have the binary. And we imported the package itself, so we do have access to these. Okay. Single goal right now. I think what we'll do is we're going to have a button that takes in the inputs and then converts it to the other language here. So we have Awafudge input, and then we transpile them to BrainF here as a start, and we can always change this later. And so to do that, we basically want to do what we do here. So our input is going to be the text area here. The output is going to be the text area here. And then we put in the parser and the formatter, and then we basically just do this here. And we'll do that all in here for now. And then we can refactor later. That means we'll also need a button. I'll get rid of the table for now. Button to that, and then we want Awafudge. I'll put that in there. I'll put that here. Okay. We're working in Svelte 5, and things are a little bit different now. Now we have runes, which I have not actually used, so we're going to have to look this up in the documentation. Runes have a dollar prefix and look like functions. So Svelte 5 compared to Svelte 4 is a lot more React-like. In the way that it handles some things. For example, the state variable, or the state rune rather, kind of looks a little bit like useState in React. It used to be that you had just let declarations, but nowadays it's more explicit with this. It's been said that a lot of the different programming, or the different front-end frameworks and front-end libraries are all starting to look the same, or are all tending towards the same design. So I think in the next maybe 5 years, everything will pretty much look the same, and it's just going to be a matter of syntax and slight changes in philosophy. So we have state, which I think is the important one. I don't think we're taking in any props, so it's going to be... You do actually have to use let for this. Let input equal to states. What is this? I think it's defaults. I think that's a default. And then let output equal state, also empty string. And then this is going to be input, output. I will style these later. The important part is that we get stuff in here. What am I looking at? Okay, and we'll start with one of these. So button, they actually did also change the how you do click handlers too. Because you don't do on click anymore. I think it's just on click. And then you pass in a function like you would in React. Function transpile to that. Is that right? Okay, hold on. I think I have to look at the tutorial for this because the last time we went through the tutorial was before Svelte 5 came out, and then they changed a bunch of things. Reactivity, events, DOM events. On pointer move. Yeah, so it is just like that, and then you get the event, which I don't think I care about the event in this case because I'm not really using it. And then we're just going to say we require imports this stuff. So we'll start with one. We're going to take the... Then we're going to transpile to Awafudge, actually. So we'll start with that. You know, it actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's all the same thing. From Awafudge. And we're importing the parser. We're importing the parser and then also the formatter for the other language from that. And then we're taking parser, AST formatted, and then we're basically going to take this. And then we're going to do, instead of parsers from lang, we already know what parser this is. This is the Awafudge parser. And then we parse the inputs, which we know what it is. And then we do formatted is going to be the formatter. And format the AST. And then we assign that to the format to the output. And then we need to bind these. Bind value is equal to it. Actually, no, it already is. I might have to anyway, actually. I think I might have to move this into here. Because otherwise it doesn't know to bind them to do the two-way binding. Exports not defined. Do I need to build this? Actions LFC. npm run, I think it's npm run build. Please work. Dist index.js. So now we're stuck with interoperability between CommonJS and ESM, where you have this being output as CommonJS, which is fine. Kind of what I want it to be, but also, how do I do this? If anyone in chat knows, by the way, feel free to chime in. Because the less time I spend debugging, the better. Actually, hold on. Node imports. I think they've also changed how you import these things. Refer to the main entry point of the package by the package name or a specific feature module. So actually, no, I think that's fine. Including a file extension is only necessary for packages without an exports field. Do we have an exports field? Alright, index.js, I guess. Which may or may not work. Exports is not defined, which was the same thing that we had earlier, so that's not it. But the command line thing works though. Bin / that. If this works, that is what we expect it to do. So clearly the exports work, at least in CommonJS. And so then we need to figure out how to import them from whatever TypeScript method that SV set up for us here. So we can go look in the tsconfig. Allow.js true, check.js true, ES module interop true, which should give us the CommonJS stuff. Module resolution bundler. Bundler, for use with bundlers like Node 16, Node Nexus mode supports package JSON imports and exports. But unlike Node.js resolution modes, bundler never requires file extensions on relative paths and imports. So I think this is what we want. I don't really want to add an exports field here though. But if I have to, I will. The exports provide a modern alternative to main, allowing multiple entry points to be defined. But actually, no, I don't want this because I'm not looking to give paths for this. I'm looking to just for the thing. This. I have main. Okay. I mean, I guess we'll do it anyway. just to see if it changes anything. Because it might. You never know. And it's still... It's an export is not defined within this. So do we actually need to recompile or change the compiler for LFC? Compile target ES 2021 module common.js, which should be fine. Yes, module interop, yes. Strict type checking true, skip lib checks. Wait a minute. That differs a little bit from what we have here in this TS config JSON. Module resolution. Node 10. Oh, but that's fine. Should we be module common.js? I don't see a reason why we shouldn't. TypeScript module common.js. I don't think the community has moved yet to full ESM, so I don't think that's well, that's quite recommended just yet. Additional import syntax, mix and match. Take all these as names, sure. ES module syntax, sure. Common.js behavior, this. Common.js syntax. Importing module options. Common.js. So this is what we have. That is what we're dealing with. Okay, so now it's time to look for this. Svelte kit. So this is our situation. We are in the Svelte kit monorepo using, well, not PM to PM, but it's close enough. Looks like this may have something to do with how Vite handles symbolic links generated by. Oh, okay. All right. So we can go to Vite config, and then we resolve preserve symlinks true. As per v2 vtjs, resolves the internal server error, exports not defined. Enabling this causes V to determine file identity by the original file path instead of the real file path. I don't know if that's what we want, but we'll give it a shot, see what happens. So if that works, then great. I don't know if we needed to restart the server there, but worth a shot. Hey, look at that. And we see this again and not the error message, which means that did work. Why that worked, good question. I guess it's because it's so that it stays within the node module tree rather than trying to break out of it, which would make sense, I guess. JSON parse unexpected character line 1 column 1. Well, that's fine because we haven't really done anything yet. But does this work? Hey, look at that. That's what it was. I'm gonna go ahead and take the example code. And it should translate to this here. Which at least does look pretty close. If we compare this side by side, or close enough. Yeah, no, that's identical. So that is correct. And then we can do the other way too. On-click equals transpile to Awafudge, which doesn't exist. But it's basically the same thing. Awafudge. It's not quite how that works. Awafudge. I think this is how you do this. Haha, there it is. I mean, there was only 2 instances, so I didn't need to do that, but at least I have the ability to swap them and not miss anything. Okay, so then that means that if I switch these two, if I take this, and then I say to Awafudge, and that doesn't work because I haven't imported them. Where did I put it? And just take this. Paste it in here. It's not the right keystrokes. Okay, there we go. And then now we should get something. We take this and we turn that into Awafudge, we get that. Which I think is correct. Because then if we take this and put it side by side, oh. There's something wrong with my parser. Or with my formatter. Should not be having these spaces. Not that it matters for the output, because spaces are ignored, but that's not right. That's not what I had tested it to do. But in any case, this does work. So we do this. We have all this extra stuff in it. Yeah, that is. You can hide one with the other, technically. So that's one part done. Do I actually need that exports? I don't think I do. So if I don't need this, I'm gonna get rid of it. Okay, that still works. I'm not gonna have that. Whoa, those are tabs. Hold up. Well, I guess these were tabs to begin with, weren't they? So we have this. No, why are these tabs? Sets, list. Yeah, these are all tabs. Did they really set that up by default? I mean, I don't actually have too much against using tabs as indentation. But I'm surprised they set that up as default. Yes, and I strongly recommend that you do not use the no undef lint rule on TypeScript projects. That's fine. Okay, we'll leave this as tabs for now. And then we can clean that up later. Actually, what was it? Elastic tab stops. spell. It would be nice if we had all adopted this, but I think the friction is a little bit too high. So basically, elastic tab stops allows you to do that. Wouldn't this be nice? But yeah, we don't have wide support for this kind of thing. Would be nice though. Unfortunately, I don't think Vim has a plugin for this, which already means that I can't really use it. Status. What's in my stash? What's in here? Did I forget something? Ah, there's nothing in here. Okay, that get stash drop. I can drop that. Get stashes, by the way, for anyone who's not familiar, allows you to take in work in progress and then stash it away for you to revive later. It's very useful if you have to switch branches or things like that. Get commit. Add code translation to ability to translate code. Very bare bones UI for now. We're going for an hour and a half. I don't think I'm going to stream for too long, but I guess it depends on how if I run out of ideas or not. Because I think the most important thing with programming and this applies to a lot of things too, is that the most important part about doing a task is just getting started. And once you get started, you can often find yourself in the I don't know, how do they say it? I was gonna say in the groove, but that's not quite right. Flow is a related term. Forgetting my stuff. Alright, I think you all know what I mean by that, but also, I do still need to do stuff like pack for next week. And I do have streams for the rest of the week, so I do have, as much as I technically have all morning and most of the afternoon, you know. The more time I have, the better. Okay, then I have this. I have 500,000 finished projects started right now. I assume you mean unfinished there, but... well, we'll go ahead and amend that. Yeah, I have a lot of unfinished projects too. It's not great. And a lot of unfinished projects on this channel too. Not just in coding, but also music. If you recall, we had one stream where we did a... I can show it. Well, good thing that didn't lead anywhere. We had one stream. Yes. Yeah, the V's composition challenge. That went nowhere. And then there's also F. This also went nowhere. In part due to technical issues. MuseScore wouldn't let me open the file anymore, and no, that's not entirely true. It let me open the file, but every time I tried to work on it, it ended up getting really, really slow. So effectively, I couldn't work on it. But also on the programming side, we also have I mean, apart from the website, which we've already mentioned. On the Station Archive, oh, that's on the fan subbing side. We still need to work on that. There's Turp Pip, which is the K Jumping Cube clone, web clone that I was hoping to work on, but also I think I got too stuck in the weeds there of the software development process. Yeah, that's why I tend to prefer the one-off stuff that don't really matter. But it's good to have a project like this once in a while too. The problem with the one-off stuff is that I need ideas for those too, and I don't. Because there's this, so I wonder if I can find it. I can show the spoilers for a future stream, but I'll put this in a private browser. From T-Penguin LTG, the same person who did the music. Okay, I guess I need the replies, so I can't do that. Then over here and hope it doesn't leak anything. Should be fine. So yeah, according to the CSS custom property specs, so basically CSS variables, you can do this, and a script, you can have a script act on it. So you can basically build a JSON object out of CSS, or out of data that's in CSS. So that's an idea. I just don't know how to apply this thing. So stuff like that would be nice to show off and play around with on stream, but I need an idea to work with to be able to do that. And ideas are kind of hard to come by. What do I want to do with this? Do I want to just jump to styling this thing? Because styling would be easy. You know, you basically take where's Alpha 5.0? I can basically just take what we have, what's attempted here, and just do it. What are your thoughts on vibe coding or use AI to code? I think it's more work than it's worth. You aren't really learning anything. And then if you have to fix or integrate it with something, you end up having to either either way, you're gonna have to understand what the code is doing to properly, you know, audit and make sure that that it actually does do what you want it to, and there's no security vulnerabilities or anything like that. So in my view, as an experienced programmer, it is faster and easier for me to just do it myself than to try to prompt my way through things. And the same thing goes with writing too, like writing text, because I would say I'm pretty good at written English, and so it is faster and easier for me to just write out what I want to say rather than figure out a prompt and have the computer figure out what to say for me. Yeah, so I mean, I know some people use AI to code, and it really depends, I think, on the goal for what that code's going to be. Like, if it's going to be throwaway code that nobody's going to use, then, you know, sure, why not? And in that case, you know, this kind of thing, sure, I can maybe prompt my way through coding this application, but I actually have not touched AI. And it's not entirely true that I haven't touched generative AI, but I can say I almost haven't touched it. The one time, I'd mentioned this in another stream before, but the one time that I did touch generative AI in the past few years was there was this diagramming platform or tool and they had this AI prompt, and I had to make a diagram, a flowchart, and I figured it's kind of annoying to make. So if the AI prompt is actually good and it can do it for me and generate it for me, I may as well give it a shot. And I gave it a shot, and I still had to fix it myself. So it would have been less effort and faster for me to just do it myself. Now, granted, it could be that I just sucked at prompt giving, because prompting AI is a skill, and I am admittedly fairly new to it, but otherwise I do think, at least for me and the stuff that I do, it is higher quality and faster to just do it. Good, you haven't touched any AI, it keeps coding fun? To an extent. It at least keeps things authentic, I guess. As I said earlier, you know, the hands-on keyboard stuff I don't really care much for. When I do pair programming, I find it much more enjoyable to be the person who's navigating rather than the person who's driving. So in a way, I guess, like that, you know, that I should be fine with AI, because then I would be the one navigating. I don't know. But I also have, I mean, I think I would have tried generative AI for coding if it weren't for copyright concerns, because the input, the data set that all these AI tools are trained on, copyright is a little bit questionable, because even if they're all open source, right? There's a lot of different open source licenses and a lot of free and open source licenses, and some of them require copyleft. I want to do a presentation stream on this at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. There's another presentation stream that I want to do first, because I already have the information for that one. But there is a future stream that I want to do where I go over the software licenses and the differences between them, and what you might want to look for, which ones you might want to consider using, and you know, when is a good time to use them, and what they actually stipulate. I'm not a lawyer or anything, but software licenses is something that I've looked into a lot. Find it useful for searching certain things. Yeah, I've heard people use it for that too. I personally don't use it for that either, because I prefer just searching it up on a search engine. Because even if you do end up using generative AI for that, you know, you query ChatGPT for some fact or whatever, you're still gonna have to double check that, because the ChatGPT can hallucinate, and so you don't know whether it's true or not. But it is, it is useful. I acknowledge that it's useful as a jumping point, in a similar fashion to how Wikipedia is a jumping point. Yeah, Google doesn't work anymore. You're right about that. If you don't narrow down your search to specific sites, then you're going to end up with a lot of AI slump, which is unfortunate. But if you do know which sites are still okay, like Reddit, for example, tends to be something that's still okay. Stack Overflow tends to still be okay. Depends on what you're looking for, of course. But yeah, there are ways to ignore all the AI stuff. I hear more and more companies force you to use AI to code, so it's getting kind of unavoidable in this industry. If you're at a high enough level, I think you can push back on that, and especially if you can show that. But yeah, it is a bit of an uphill battle to as somebody who might be a little bit less experienced to try to fight that, because you don't have the experience to say, no, you know, this works better. But hope that you do at least have one person in the chain who is actually competent without AI. And I know, Chad, you've mentioned before that that you do have somebody in that chain, so good for your company for having that. and hope they rub off on you a bit. Admittedly, though, it does mean that coding itself is a little bit slower. And we had done a hackathon back at work where well, I think we were tasked with trying to play around with AI in some form, and my team had explored using AI to write unit tests. I have some reservations about that, but I do admit that if you have to write unit tests for existing code, or even just certain test cases, that can help you generate the code for the unit tests a little bit faster and much less tediously. Especially if your unit tests are all fairly repetitive. You know, it's a lot easier to just say, write unit tests for this, and this case, and then it generates something that is more or less okay. You know, very easily verifiable because they all look the same. What I would caution against that, though, is that you might be tempted to write the code and then try to generate a test out of that. But if you subscribe to the benefits of test-driven development, you actually want to write your test first, or at least have an idea of the test that you're trying to get to pass first before you write the code, and that tends to result in better code. So yeah, I usually think of it as like a probability function for language. So if I ask for the best budget dual sport motorcycle tires due to the massive amount of forum posts I get a good start. Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it, because it basically is that, right? Large language models are basically just a whole bag of probability. What is the most likely word come next after this string of words, right? And if your prompt is engineered enough to give you something that would reasonably be specific and potentially accurate enough, it would be a good jumping point. Yeah, I made the comparison with Wikipedia earlier. While I think Wikipedia in many spaces is probably reliable enough to lean on its own, especially for a lot of use cases, it is still something that, for more serious stuff, you do have to dig into the secondary sources and verify for yourself. So in the same manner, AI output would be good as a starting point for you to look up and verify things for yourself. Because you know, you don't know what you don't know, and AI can give you the hints to show you what you don't know. So I'm not on the camp that says AI is bad, but I am on the camp that says AI is a tool, and as a tool you have to know how to use it well and when to use it. Although for me personally, I've not found a use case where that there's something that I can't There's something I can do with AI that I can't reasonably do without AI, so I have not found the need to touch AI yet. What we're doing here. So we have these buttons working. We don't have an interpreter. And this isn't styled. Flagshine Senpai, welcome in. We're just working on the UI for Awafudge. I don't remember if you've been here for previous Awafudge streams. But it is a esoteric programming language that is heavily inspired by Jelly Hoshiumi from Base Connect. We got this working for the most part. Although now that I remember, actually, I think I did want to try to fix this, because this isn't supposed to have spaces here. It doesn't change the way it's interpreted, but formatting wise, it's better to not have the spaces. Okay, I'm gonna close some of these tabs, so I don't need them. So we can go back up here into the compiler. Formatter. Awafudge. Yes. The process the directive. Token type right. Where are we going wrong here? Why are we getting these spaces? Because you have this. Wait, what's wrong with you? Hold up. Wait. Plus dot. I don't know, I need it the other way. Okay. I've already forgotten how this works. I don't have help on this one. Alright. I need to write that. Yeah, esoteric programming language. Didn't know they existed. It's, I don't know, writing one, depending on how you approach it, writing one isn't too hard. You will end up having to write a parser, and so hopefully your language is easy to parse. But we've already gotten past that. And the language that I've written here is based on another language. So the semantics are all pretty much worked out anyway. That said, we don't have an interpreter for it yet. But yeah, for anyone who is into to programming and programming language, or programming languages, I do highly recommend trying to write a compiler for either an esoteric programming language that you have written or somebody else has written, or a minimal compiler for some other easy language. In school, when we had, I had taken a programming languages course, and they got us to write a compiler for a simplified C-like language. I think we had the option of writing it in either C, C++, or Racket. I chose Racket because it was, I found it to be easier to deal with. Probably easier to be correct in Racket too. Okay, I need to figure out what the flags are here. 2. I want 2 Awafudge. And why don't I don't have any help here. I should write that. Yeah, okay, that's wrong. Is it because the delete previous white space doesn't work? So when we get to awa, so for example, when we get to here, console.log, debug, format, token. So programming tip, whenever you have, whenever you're using console logs for debug messages, have a string that is very easy to spot. One, so that it's very easy to spot in the output, but also because it's very easy to spot in your editor. And you can do something like find all lines with word debug in capital letters and then delete them. Which is very easy in Vim. There's probably a way to do it in other editors too. So for example, I just do that, and that deletes the debug line. Right, because I need to npm build. But I do have to build this thing. I'm gonna put that over there. Here it is, because I join it with these. Okay, that's why. because I need to delete previous white space. Okay, I need to add that token there too. Understandable. And then I need to write a test for that. Which we actually do have tests for these. Yeah, there we go. That's what you're looking for. So we have this directive here, delete previous white space. It's basically a special token. That says that if we see it, then we replace any white space that is preceding it, 0 or more, with nothing. So we just delete, as the directive says, delete the previous white space. And so it prevents us from having spaces like what we had there. And this was important for this and that. Why do I have an extra one here? I don't know if I should have an extra one here. Actually, no, this is fine. This is fine because you join this with that. That's correct. Yeah, no, this is fine. So we can go ahead and fix the test for this one. So this is going to be under the formatters under Awafudge. Then we have... Nope. Test. I kind of wish I didn't put it all under the under a single test folder. There is a recommendation to put the test at the same level as your file for a number of reasons. The most notable one being so that they're co-located, and so the test and the file are all within the same level, and imports look similar. And you don't have to go searching through trees. And so if you move the file, you can move the test along with it. I didn't do that here. White space. Okay, I'm going to have to put the new ones. Format loops with content. Format loops with content. Formats, without preceding spaces. And this is using Mocha. Node actually does have a built-in test runner, and I kind of want to consider just switching to that, just to reduce the number of dependencies. And it works more or less the same, at least for what I needed to do. Do I have to write one of these? I think I do. Man, I don't want to have to write one of these. But I can't use the utilities because then I'd have to test those too. Okay, fine. So I should probably move that up there instead. Formats, write instructions. or writes without preceding spaces, because this is all related. So you wanna make sure that's they're all together. Token type write. Then I also want an increment, and then a write. I think that's what it would be. Now we can take this and put that there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure these tests fail first. Actually, I'm going to copy this as well. Make sure that they fail without our change, and then we can come back and make them pass. We're gonna undo that. NPM test, and we should see 2 failing tests. And indeed we do, with what we saw before. And then we can bring this back, and then we should see them pass. And there we go. And so that is the benefit of having tests. It shows you that things are still working, and they haven't broken anything else. And now for the future, it also means that we have this as a case so that we make sure that this doesn't break as well when we make changes in the future. So now we can go ahead and add this, make sure that we don't put in that debug line. LFC remove preceding space. Is that what I said? From read and write. Awafudge output. I don't like this. How far is this? Still within 60. It should be largely okay. For git commits, you typically want to have them, or at least the subject line, you want to have them around 50 lines or 50 characters max, maybe up to 60 if you're trying to push it a little bit. You don't want to exceed 70. And this is for formatting so that it looks nice on the command line. So if you do git log, for example, right, it means that it will stay within this this margin here, and it won't go too far beyond. Because if you have them all in one line, or if they're all too long, then you end up having to wrap. And it's not good for viewing here. And so if you make sure you keep your lines wrapped at the particular column, so like 50 to 60 on the subject line, then I think it was something like 70 on the 70 to 80, 72-ish for the body, then it'll look nice when you view it on here. There's a person beams git commit messages. This one I always send out to people whenever I talk about git commit messages. Definitely worth a read if you haven't already done so. Yeah, wrap the body at 72 characters. That's what it was. And subject line at 50. GitHub does at least warn you about it in the subject line, but it doesn't wrap the body for you, which is a little bit unfortunate. So that's why whenever I do it here, I write out the message on the command line, so that if I need to rewrite it again, it's still there, and then I format within Vim. So I use the -E flag for that. So a bunch of -Ms for the actual message, and then -E to bring up the editor. Although in this case, I guess it didn't put a body, so I'm gonna have to write one in. Spaces were being inserted when formatting as Awafudge before read and write and read. And then we should say the delete previous white space directive is required to remove was missing. Required to remove the white space. Go ahead and reformat that. I don't like this, but it's gonna be clear enough if I ever have to go back and read this. You don't want to break there. You want to break there. This is going to be OBS. Are you okay? It says I disconnected briefly. I'm gonna assume we're okay. Chat, let me know if we're still connected. But yeah, so this should be okay. It's clear enough that if I come back to this in the future, it's clear enough what I had what I intended here. And then actually I'm going to go ahead and do a rebase while we still can. Rebase I don't think I have an auto squash here. So we're going to do a rebase here, just so I can reorder the commits. Because I think I would rather have all the UI commits together. Which I don't want I don't want a period there, so we're gonna have that. Okay, so now I shouldn't have to touch this. I might have to rebuild npm run build just to make sure that we have everything. But otherwise, it should just work. We'll make it to Awafudge. I may have to restart the server. Come on. Surely, right? Okay, something is wrong here. I'm I'm gonna go ahead and attempt an npm install up top here, just in case that changes anything, which it shouldn't. But you never know. Oh wait, no, I do have node modules here. Why? It's empty. Well, it's almost empty. So that one's actually probably okay. Tree-A. That's a real node modules. So what's in here? Aha! Well, that might be an issue now, wouldn't it? I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna hope I didn't need that, but it should be fine. Let's run dev again and it should be fine. Surely that's that can't be. Really? We fixed it though. Okay, time to reinstall node modules. Again, but this time fresh. Okay, we're gonna do a hard refresh just in case. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. Okay, I'm starting to feel the need to style this so I don't have to keep enlarging them. That's what we want. I don't know what part of that fixed it, but there it is. We now no longer have spaces where we shouldn't have them. Very good. All right. One moment, I'm just gonna get an application up. I'll be right back. And welcome back. I need to make sure that so I had stuff in GIMP that probably shouldn't show all of it on stream, so I had to clear it off and then bring it over to this desktop. There's some issues with bringing stuff over to different desktops while stream is happening, so I'd rather not do that. But okay, so Jelly Hoshiumi has some... Actually, wait a minute, hold up. I have a color. I've been using a color. One moment, I need to find this. For those of you on the YouTube side, you've noticed the thumbnails. And the that has a color on it that I've been using, I can just use this color. Whatever this is. I'm gonna use sass here. We're not gonna use sass there, sorry, hold up. It's not the right spot to put it. We're gonna put this in the layout instead. Oh, it's a script line TS, not TypeScript. That's probably important. Lang equals CSS. Background color. I don't know actually if this is what I want. Probably not. I need to close the tag there. Processor dependency SAS embedded not found. Did we install it? No. Svelte kit SAS. Did I actually need to do this? You will need to install a Svelte preprocess added to your Svelte config. CoffeeScript is not supported, but I don't care about CoffeeScript. I do recall doing something like this. So this is probably what I want here. If we don't already have it. Okay, time to go check the website. Because we did do that here. Yeah, so we did that. We had Svelte preprocessed, and we also did in the Svelte config we have this, and then in the Vt config we have not that. Okay. Yeah, instead of Vt preprocess, we have Svelte preprocess. Although, do I really care about SAS? I don't actually think I care about SAS at the moment, so maybe not. There's not a whole lot that, because we're not doing any heavy styling here. So, do I actually want it to look like this? I don't think so. I'm not trying to copy Temtempi here. This is the obvious styling. But can we do better? Probably. Problem is I'm not creative enough for that. But I think we can at least put this in as temporary styling. Our UI adds temporary styling. Add a background color to look less plain. Nothing wrong with white, but it is themed a little bit more towards Jelly. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do with this. We did get this working. We are at roughly around 2.5 hours already, so... I'm largely satisfied with the progress that we have here. I do still have to do laundry. I don't know. We might leave it there because I still have to think about. I think for next time, whether I do this on stream or if I do this just in Discord, I think the next step is going to be working on the interpreter, and then the display for the memory. Because we need some way to show the memory here, right? The tape. And then we need to make sure that we have a way to run this thing too. So yeah, stuff to do. I think this is probably a good place to end. I mentioned Discord streams. If you're not already in the Discord, there it is. We do have a channel for programming. And if I ever do end up doing this over Discord streams, we do have voice channels for this stuff too. Am I missing anything? Yeah, okay, so tomorrow, not that one. That's old. Now this one. Tomorrow we're going to be playing Tetris Sweeper. If you've never seen this before, it is a game where you play Tetris and Minesweeper at the same time. So there's definitely a lot of brain power being used here. We played this on stream twice before, and I had mentioned in the Tetris Sweeper Discord last July that I would play it in August, and I had meant to say, when I said it, I had meant August of 2024, but that never happened. So it's going to be August 2025 now. I never did specify a year technically, so. But yeah, so that's going to be happening tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're going to be doing some more music stuff. I'm going to go back to Mountain. And then next week, I will be away, but I will have content to be put up on the YouTube channel. So for those of you on Twitch, there's the YouTube channel. You can go subscribe to that to be caught up on the latest videos. For those of you on YouTube, you're already here. All you have to do then is click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Can't believe I'm saying that. And while you're there, you may as well click the like button and comment too, right? Okay. I think we're gonna call it there. For anyone who's new here, my name is Penbu, in the programming, puzzle gaming, and music making VTuber on Linux. Today we had done some programming, made some decent progress on this, I guess. I mean, we didn't write a whole lot. But we did do a lot of good discussion, I would say, so I think it's probably worth it. Okay. For those of you on Twitch, stick around. We're going to find somebody to raid. Ads are going to start soon, so I'll probably wait until after the ads are done before starting a raid. For those of you on YouTube, we're just going to end as usual. Now, depending on whether... if I want to raid this one particular person, they are also streaming on YouTube. So I will let you know if I do end up doing that. But if not, then we're just going to end. I can't officially redirect anyway on YouTube because I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. We're only about 1/10 of the way there. I mean, I guess we're close to 1/5 of the way there. But we still have a bit of a ways to go until we get to 200. Manual, I prefer not to do manual raids on YouTube. But if I do find somebody who is multi-streaming, I can send you the link and you can go over there yourself. But if they're not multi-streaming, I prefer... if you want to go somewhere else, that's fine. But I prefer not officially doing that. Okay, I think that's it. Twitch is going to go into ads soon, so we're going to wait for that to finish. But otherwise, stick around. And, thanks for coming, and good night. We'll see you next time. Bye. Alright, well Twitch is still in ads, but I guess we can talk with YouTube in the meantime. Hello Karma Komodo, I assume you've been lurking. Thanks for the lurk. I guess there are actually some VTubers who are... Well, there's one particular VTuber that I think I would like to raid. But I'll talk about that when Twitch is out of ads. So, they're not streaming on YouTube, so I guess I won't send you all over there, but I may pop into a YouTube stream anywhere somewhere else. And if I do, I'll post that in the other VTubers channel in the Discord, so if you'd like to see where I end up going, I will be there. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we get more programming streams there, because I would like to do more technical stuff. Whenever I cut a stream, it's usually the technical ones, unfortunately. But I am the programming VTuber, or at least I claim to be a programming VTuber, so I have to do this once in a while, right? But anyway, welcome back, Twitch. I found somebody else to raid, and it's going to be YukiVT. She does programming, and particularly low-level programming. Is currently working on a sound application. I don't remember exactly what it is, but oh, a sound editor. That's right. Working in VB.net. Usually she works in, what was it, C or C++ or something, but VB.net for this one. If you'd like to participate in the raid, this is the raid message. You can go ahead and copy that and paste it in when we get there. Yeah. Usually our times don't overlap, so this is pretty rare, although she does tend to stream for long periods of time, so on occasion we do. This time around, it seems she probably started late because she's only been around for been on for 4 hours. But I'm not complaining. It means we get to raid her. All right. Enjoy the programming, and we'll see you next time. Bye.